Hey, it's Thursday, December 11th. I got the top coat on there. Yeah, I got so excited to get this thing done, I forgot to record. But the Pour 15 sands pretty easily dry. Wet sanding it works too, but it seemed to be easier when it was dry. I don't know. But I've got the tread area painted on both sides, around the wheel and a little part of the axle there, this area, and the sides of the tread area. I ran out of paint. I don't know. I didn't listen to my better judgment. I bought, where is that stuff anyway? Oh, it's in the garbage. I'll show you what I bought. This stuff is ridiculously expensive. Here it is. Oh, dimension, overall finished product. The solvents have ate the label off of the thing. But this can was half full and was $30. So I got 8 ounces of paint for $30. And then the hardener that goes with it was like $50. And this was the smallest can that they had. Another 8 ounces. So there's $80 worth of paint. And I didn't buy the recommended reducer. I just use acetone. And you know what? It ain't as pretty as a Corvette, but it's painted. And it's a nice hard finish that'll take the abuse, hopefully, of the tires running up and down on the thing. We also got this painted. Got the whole tongue painted, all 4 sides. And the edges of this and the top side of this, I mean, you know, looks pretty darn good. You know, for shade tree, literally, paint job. And that was all the paint. I should have bought the whole damn pint, but that'd have been another $30. I don't know. The guy at Sherwin-Williams talked me into buying a half a pint. But this is all sanded here, and it's going to be painted with FlexSeal. I've got 2 cans of that I bought the other day, and I just realized just today, just a moment ago, I've got a can of FlexSeal right here. It's about a half a can, so that's good. So I got, these are the larger ones. What is that, 17 ounce can? So the whole underside is going to be FlexSeal. Hey, life is an experiment. It did a great job on the propane tank on the bus. Let me go show you that. All right, so, I mean, you really can't tell what you're looking at here. But this is completely covered with FlexSeal. The whole tank. And it's really held up great. I mean, it's really filthy, but there's no dings in it or anything. I did that because of it being right behind the rear wheel here. Didn't want to see it get all dinged up and then rust. Now the Pour 15 is enough of a finish all by itself, but it's not UV stable. So that's why I did the top coat with this ridiculously expensive stuff. You know, I guess I could have used just a cheap old Rust-Oleum or something, but I wanted something with a hardener. And I don't really know much about painting. That's why I go to the Sherwin-Williams automotive paint distributor here. The guys here are always, you know, I don't know if I'm getting ripped off or I'm buying stuff that's more expensive than I need, but he hooks me up with everything I need to do the job, and it's always done well for me. So, all right. FlexSeal, 1 coat. And yes, it looks crude and rough, but I'm looking forward to this performing for me very well. So I got all this is the top edge of this is the front. All the forward edges are coated. Up in these rust prone areas are coated. Here, And this space right here is where the wear pads rub when the thing turns. So I just like painted around it and didn't try real hard to mask because I kind of don't care. But I got all these edges and the sides and the bottom edge, which is the rear edge. Up in here, what I did is I replaced the cap on the FlexSeal with one that has one of those little plastic straws, and I just got up there and squirted it up in there so I could, you know, get where you kind of can't get on both sides. On this seam here, I put it extra heavy to glue that seam shut. That'll help keep it from rusting. All right, it's got a funny smell to it. This area here is not coated, although, you know, it's got a little bit of overspray on it, which, whatever. I got the edges, this edge, and this whole area in the middle I coated because this is where I lay down the hook and the chain or whatever, my safety chains, and that's prone to getting scratched up. So I'm happy how it looks, man. It looks just like what my propane tank came out. We got it flipped over, if you can't tell. So we're gonna, the complete underneath side of this, we're gonna rubber coat, except the inside of this where the tongue goes. Hey, it's Saturday, December 13th, 2025. And look what just came in the mail. So the guys at Master Tow, I just called them up on the phone and said, hey man, I need a replacement ID sticker for my tow dolly. I didn't give them any extra information. I just gave them the serial number. And now I got the brand new sticker. They printed it and mailed it to me for free, along with a neat little advertisement. I just put another can of FlexSeal, second coat, on the whole underneath side, up underneath these edges, all the way around this whole front, all those surfaces, these two surfaces here, and it's still wet. It's been about 24 hours. I could swear I read on one of these cans that it was a 48 hours for total hardness. I don't know, I'll have to read this over again. All right, allow 24 to 48 hours to dry before applying another coat. Fully cures in 48 hours. Yeah, that's what I read. That was the old can, and here's the new can. Fully cure in approximately 24 hours. The drying instructions are different. Thought I was going crazy there. Anyway, I'm sitting here looking at this thing. Feeling really good about how it looks. It's nice and coated, and how I probably kind of didn't need to spend all the money on that automotive paint, but it's coated. And I just realized something interesting that I never noticed before about this tow dolly. Unless I'm losing my mind, it's upside down right now. But when you tilt the tow dolly, it has to pivot on these points also. They're not fixed. And yeah, it has to pivot on that. That's what I noticed, is that these points are in line with this pivot point. Because the tongue stays still, this part pivots. So I wish I'd have realized that earlier. I might have done something differently on these pivot points, which means they're never going to be tight. They're always going to be worked loose. So what I'm going to do, instead of using the lock nuts like it had, I'm going to double nut those I think that's going to be the most secure thing I could do. But then, you're kind of just relying on the fit of the bolt through the hole for, yeah, something else too. I think I would have done. Let me come outside here. I didn't hem and haw and think about this for a while. But here's the tongue, and there's the pivot point at the dolly, and here's where those braces bars go, right here. I should have welded a pipe in this so it won't crush when you tighten it. Although it wasn't tight before. That's what they did right here. This hole right here, there's a metal pipe. Let's see if I can video that. I don't know if I'm getting it. Little pipe right here. Sorry about that. That way you can't crush the tube when you tighten the bolts. Now this one does not have it. I guess because it's not near the end. But whatever. That really came out nice. That is really well coated. That is some nice paint. Anyway, just thought I'd share that. That's a quick one. I guess tomorrow or Monday we'll flip this thing over and try to figure out how we're gonna assemble this thing. Hey there, it's Monday, December 15th. We're getting ready to rock and roll here. Earlier today, we flipped the thing back over right side up, and I put the FlexSeal on this side. So it's been about 6 hours or 8 hours maybe curing. So it's pretty much ready to roll. And I put a little extra coating on the forward edge over here, here, and here. I'm done with painting with this thing. It's fine. Now, went to the hardware store to replace. Let me find the original bolts. All right, here's the originals. I guess they're 12 millimeter bolts. I was gonna say they were 13 millimeter bolts, and I was gonna replace them with 1/2 inch bolts, which would actually have been bigger than these. But they were too loose. 1/2 inch was too loose in the hole for me. Great. Let me show you what I mean. That's, kind of ridiculous, right? So we're doing an upgrade. I went to the hardware store. I bought some 9/16 bolts, which is this size. And I had to, I used my step drill here to drill out. Where'd it go? I guess I haven't drilled this one yet. Yeah, it doesn't go on this. When I drilled these out, that's only like had to take like a burr off of it. If you look up in there, I didn't even drill the whole hole. And that's how it was on this one. And this one over here I had drilled. And you can see it really clearly on this. I only had to go halfway through. That's how enlarged those holes are. Or not enlarged, but oversized those holes are for what we need. Now when we use these 9/16 bolts, they're gonna fit in there, pretty close to being right. So I bought these with the shoulder here, or I guess you call this the grip area. They're longer than I need, but they're the shortest ones. They're the shortest ones I could buy that had this. to where the threads wouldn't be digging into the bore, the hole there. And I was also lucky enough to find some nylon washers. So we're going to go flat washer, nylon washer, this thing, that thing, or this thing, and then another nylon washer. So there'll be nylon washer on both sides of that. And then through the trailer, and a third nylon washer, and one or two flat washers, whatever it takes to where the nut won't jam up on there. So that's going to be tomorrow, because we're not ready to put the tongue on yet. So for now, to keep busy, I'm going to drill this one out here like I did the other, get my wiring harness ready, and then tomorrow morning we can put the tongue on this baby, which requires a wiring harness to be in the tongue first. That's why I need to work on that. I'll do that tonight. And we might have this thing put back together, minus the fenders, tomorrow.